You guys all fired up or what? Yeah, this is a lot of fun. First of all, thank you guys so much for all the hard work. Last time we had one of these, we were all up on the bar till like 4 o'clock in the morning, which is great, except for that we still are in service, and this is still a restaurant, despite what we all look like. Zahav was one of those things, it was sort of a product of just going back to Israel and wondering why nobody was really doing that kind of food here. I ended up cooking by accident in Israel, and then I did that only because of necessity, because I could not get another job. My Hebrew was terrible. I was an art major, and really and not a very good artist. And the only job I could get was cooking, and I fell in love with it over there, and then ended up going to culinary school in West Palm Beach. We're going to be sending out a lot of past hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to be doing it from both sides. From that side, we're going to be passing borscht. We're going to be putting on top of it walnut oil with like a little cucumber and yogurt salad. And the chopped liver is, it's the chopped liver that we used to have on the menu. It's got Iranian pistachios, poppy seeds, chicken cracklings. What's the word for that?
Gribbinus.
Gribbinus, the Yiddish word for chicken cracklings, all right? There's so many cultural influences that make up Israeli cuisine that I wanted to be the person to be doing it. We originally wanted to be as authentic as we could, but that seemed a little bit weird. I mean, we're in Pennsylvania, we're not in the Middle East. I'm a professionally trained chef. I'm not, a grandparent that's been making like the same one dish for my entire life. So it became a little bit more innovative.
Philadelphia has an important realist tradition. Many people instantly think of Thomas Eakins when they think of Philadelphia. Liz Osborne is part of a tradition that bases art on close observation. She's also transcended that by exploring the intangible, the emotional effect of color on the body, and that represents another important strain of art in Philadelphia in the 20th century. Liz Osborne is one of the most influential artists of the last 40 years in Philadelphia and deserves to be better known, especially outside of this region. Liz, to me, is the living sort of heiress to all of that tradition. And it could be the intense palette, the uncanny sense that light and color are merged, that they're one thing in her paintings. That may be the overall sort of theme, no matter what subject she's painting.
My studio has, it's not actually north light, but I can see the sun moving on the floor of the studio, and I like it. I like the clarity and I even like the change of the light. I respond to it.
They're going through bone marrow transplant or they're having chemotherapy. It's a really hard day for them. And you do something simple like wrap them in a quilt, and all of a sudden there's this peace and calm that comes over them, like a magical quilt. And they all do the same thing. They all smile and then they go to sleep cuddling their quilt. Quilts for Kids has become an international nonprofit charity. And my family laughs at me because whenever I take a vacation, wherever I go, I bring quilts or I bring brochures to tell people about quilts. We got quilts to an orphanage in Haiti after the disaster. When 9/11 hit, we got quilts to families of the victims of 9/11. When Katrina hit, we were able to bring all of our chapters. We now have about 83 chapters throughout the country that are doing exactly what we do.
We haven't sent any quilts down since September, so I was calling to see if you needed any.
Quilts for Kids started as a result of my being an interior designer and walking into the Philadelphia Marketplace Design Center to put an order in for a client and discovering that in the place of these beautiful sofas and chairs and tables were these industrial-sized trash bags. And I asked what was happening, and they said that they were remiss in throwing out their discontinued fabric samples. And I remembered a time when my daughter was hospitalized and couldn't have her stuffed animal, her bear, had lots of allergens on it, and they said, sorry, we don't know what's making her so ill, we're taking everything away. And I thought, gee, if we took these 100% cottons and we made patchwork quilts out of them, then they could go through a washer and dryer cycle every day and they'd never have allergen issues.